This track is for inspiration to do different. We're going to have the chance to listen to some people who've done different in 3 different ways. First in line are Jonsson and Pokorny, as I've chosen to call you.
Okay. Hello. We are going to talk about our company, Meditra Consulting, and how we define what we think is the perfect job.
Yeah.
And my name is Hanna.
And I'm Petra.
And when we were preparing this presentation, we thought about words that describe entrepreneurship to us. And we're going to show you them. Here they are.
Let's see if it's... And actually, we decided to base our presentation upon these words, so we grouped them into 3 categories, 3 groups that make up the agenda for today. So we'll start with telling why we started a business in the first place, and then we'll go on speaking about Meditra Consulting, what we actually do, and finally how we work, how we designed our work situation. So, Hanna?
Yes. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. And I have pretty much always known, since I was very young, that I wanted to run my own business one day. I had no idea what I wanted to do. The only thing I knew was that I wanted to do it with someone. I didn't want to do it alone. So when I finished high school, I didn't have a partner and I didn't have an idea, so I started studying business administration with Spanish. And at the university, I met Petra. This was 9 years ago, in 2001. I was very interested in Spanish and in Spain, and Latin America was nothing for me, really. It was not until the 4th year when I got a scholarship that took me to Bolivia that I discovered the South American continent, and I fell in love instantly, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And after graduating university, I still didn't have a partner, still didn't, well, dare to do my own thing. So I started working in a bank. It was okay. I had a fun job. I helped my clients with their investments. It was, yeah. The one thing that I liked the most about my job by then was meetings with people.
Yeah. Me, on the other hand, well, I'm going to take this off, first of all. As she said, the ventilation is not very good. I was always very interested in Latin America. And when at university, I got the chance to go to Chile in an exchange. And I liked it very much the very first time. So then during a period of 3 to 4 years, I went back and forth, Chile, Sweden. I studied there again, and I made an internship, and I worked at a fund that promoted business between small companies in Sweden and in Chile. Back in Sweden, when I graduated and was looking for jobs, I was looking into the big consultancy, management consultant companies and EU, FN. I wanted to work in a big organization and kind of get a complete package with a great boss and inspiring colleagues and kick-offs, conferences, Christmas parties, and quite well-defined tasks. I did start to work for a very large company, Microsoft, but in a project that aimed to promote innovation, recruitment, competence development in small companies. And I could manage the project quite independently. And that's when it turned out that actually it was the parts that I could decide myself that I liked the most, and the parts when I had to compromise and adapt to my boss's objectives, or even worse, scorecards and objectives that came from Redmond, the headquarters. It wasn't quite as much fun, because it meant that I had to present things to clients and partners that weren't really optimal. So one day, I had quite a dull day at work. I sat in a lot of formal meetings and came home, and my sister, who at the time was the chairwoman of Save the Children Youth, she came home with 2 colleagues / friends, and they had tea, and they were sitting in her bed for 3 hours, constantly laughing and constantly working with great results. And that's when I thought that this is how I want to work, in the way that suits me, with the people that I connect with. So that's when I called Hanna and asked her if she wanted to start a business with me.
Yeah, you did. And I was sitting at the tube on my way home from work. This was in December 2007, and I think most of you guys know how it is on the tube in December. It was crowded, and I hadn't had a good day either. My meetings hadn't resulted in what I wanted them to do, and I was not in the best mood. But when you called me and asked me if we were going to do this together, that all changed, of course. And we decided pretty much straight away at Slussen that we were going to start a business together. We had no idea what we were going to do, but we kind of knew how we wanted to do it.
Yeah, so we actually started there. We set up a few criteria that are important for us, that were important for us in the work. And first of all, we felt it was vital that it should be fun.
Yeah, and we were going to do something where we could make a difference, something that we were good at.
And we wanted to promote a fair and sustainable business.
And since I loved the meetings at my previous jobs, meetings with people were really important.
Also, it was important that the job encouraged personal and professional development.
Yeah, and we were really sure about not becoming the typical entrepreneur that work 90 hours a week.
Nah. And finally, this was not a requisite really, but we thought it would be really nice if it involved traveling. So,
yes.
yeah, so what we decided to do was to work with the trade between Sweden and Chile, to sell consultancy services to small companies in Sweden and in Chile who wanted to enter the opposite market.
One can say that we are like a bridge between the countries. And just to give an example of things that we do, we can, for instance, help a Chilean company to find a Swedish partner here in Sweden, or the other way around, a Swedish company who wants to find a Chilean partner in Chile.
Yeah, and as for our clients, we work with pretty much all sectors, even if we tend to focus on clean tech, environmental technology. But we do choose quite carefully which clients we work with. We want to see a real business potential in the project, and we want to be sure that we can actually contribute to this. And also, it is very important for us that we make a deal with our client that we gain, where we gain and the client gain, and also that it makes a preferably positive or at least neutral impact on the surrounding society and environment.
And the reason why we chose to promote trade between Chile and Sweden was because it complied with the criteria that we had set up previously for our perfect job.
Yeah, and also, of course, since I had been to Chile, I had both seen that there was a great potential for this kind of trade, but also I had an important network, and I was accustomed to the market and the culture there.
Yeah, I think we were lucky that Petra had her vast network in Chile by then, because Chile is a very interesting economy. It has grown a lot during the last 20 years. It is perhaps the strongest economy in Latin America. It recently entered the OECD, the only Latin American country apart from Mexico that is part of the OECD now. It is the least corrupt country according to Transparency International, and it is a world champion pretty much in world trade. It has free trade agreements with pretty much the whole world.
Yeah, so we decided to do this, but we still didn't have a clear idea about how to do it, how to start a business, how it was to run a business, but we just felt that now is the time, we had the energy, so we just got started and felt that it was okay to learn during the way.
Yep, so we quit our jobs and went for it. And it was easy to get started. We just filled out this form. It took about 20 minutes, and then we were up and running, pretty much. So I think we're lucky here in Sweden, because it's really easy to get started. If you compare to Chile or to the United States, for instance, you often need a business lawyer in order to get your business up and running.
Yeah. And one thing we figured quite quickly is that our work mainly consists of networking and matchmaking. That's the main pillar in our services. So we do spend a lot of time and energy into meeting people, enterprises, where we see potential or that we find interesting, where we feel some kind of connection.
Yeah, so we attend fairs, for instance, and we try to socialize with entrepreneurs in general.
And go to and organize ourselves different kinds of seminars and events, preferably with people interested in the Chilean market, but actually any kind of business people.
Yeah.
And we do this because for us, networking is a way to get clients, because most of our clients we get through recommendations. Also, it's a way to market ourselves, to make Meditra more famous. It is a way for us to find partners, because we don't do everything ourselves, and a way to find partners for our clients. Also, it is very valuable to have a wide network with different competencies that we can use or call when we need to ask quick questions about some area we don't know. And as you said, we try to meet a lot of entrepreneurs, and even if they often, or actually never, do the same thing as we do, it often serves as a great deal of inspiration and gives us great ideas, and actually serves as business development, because often from this meeting we do tend to change our business.
Definitely.
So that was the short version of the second part, what we do. Now, as for the third part, we're going to talk shortly about how we organized our work situation. And I went back to the slide we showed before, because we really want to stress and make a point out of that you can start a business and you can design a business based on your own ideas and preferences. You don't have to go with some kind of preset idea on how a business should be organized. And these were the things that are important for us.
Yes. Joyful business, have fun at work. This is a picture taken in our office, which is an old Greek church, where we are organizing an after work. Yeah, here are pictures from the church. It's a pretty nice office space that we share with 20 other entrepreneurs in our age. Everyone is between 25 and 35, which makes it fun to go to work. And yeah, this is a picture from Chile in November last year, when we had a meeting in a park outside a library. So we used their wireless internet and got a lot of work done.
It was a very nice afternoon.
Yeah.
As for fair business, the different concepts of fair business and responsible business and social entrepreneurship, it's all still quite vague and new, and we are no experts at all in that area, but we do want to learn more. So this is a picture from when we organized an event in the church and invited social entrepreneurs to mingle, get to know each other, and try to move the discussion a bit forward.
Yeah, and personal development is very important to us. Since we, in many ways, are our company, we try to learn and develop constantly. So we devote time to reading and learning new things. And standing here, for instance, is challenging. We were nervous when coming here.
Yeah.
And we think presentation skills are important, and it's good for us to having to improve them.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And as for decent work hours, we do work, I guess, about 35 hours a week. We take about 7 weeks of vacation. each year, and this is a picture from Chile again, because we do work out during office hours. As you said, we are the company, so if we are strong and feel good, we believe that so will the company.
Yeah. And traveling. Since we choose to become this bridge between Chile and Sweden, travel to Chile becomes a requisite. So we go to Chile about twice a year, and we stay 4 or 5 weeks at a time. And we tend to go when it's cold and rainy and boring here in Sweden, and spring or summer over there.
Which actually is often where the business gets going in Chile also, so it's perfect. Yeah. And this picture is from November when we were passing the Andes to go into Chile.
Yes. Well, this is our story and the way that we do business, but we're pretty sure that one can do business in all kinds of ways. Like Petra said before, you don't have to go. Yeah, well, we believe what I wanted to say is that we believe that anyone can succeed in doing their thing in their way, as long as you do something that you feel that you like and that you're good at.
Yeah, and as for the title, The Perfect Job, Our Dream Job, I mean, that was the main idea, the main basis for us starting a business, but I think neither of us could imagine that it would be as much fun as it is, and no one of us, I mean, we get really scared about even thinking about going back to being employed. Now when we know how much energy you get from how much fun it is to do things your own way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. And of course, you're also getting a gift from Gruppi. And completely, I don't know what I was thinking, salsa course? Maybe? So
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure that people can ask you questions later on during the lunch.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.